Okay.
I'll let you know in 1 second. Okay. Okay.
Okay. We're here today for our regular board meeting tonight. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
to the flag
of the United States
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for the flag. That was very nice. Can we also have a moment of silence for veterans? Could I have a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Adamczak?
Here.
Councilmember Hammer?
She's here.
Councilmember Kaminsky?
He's
Present.
here.
Councilmember Nowak?
Present.
Councilmember Pilarski?
Present.
Councilmember Rusiniak?
Here.
And Supervisor Benchkowski?
Here. Okay, we have the entire board, 7 members present. The first order of business is a public hearing. I'll turn it over to you, Madam Clerk.
So we have a call for a public hearing that was made at the July 28th Town Board meeting, Resolution 2020-271. It was sponsored by Councilmember Adamczak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski for increase and improvement of facilities of the Consolidated Sewer District pursuant to Section 202B of the Town Law. All persons wishing to provide oral comments were to register with the Town Clerk by noon, August 7th, and I have received no requests on this item. So unless the Town Board member would like to share some comments, I recommend that the supervisor close the public hearing.
I'll open it up to council member comments.
That's something we need. We got to get this going, get some of these bonds in, be able to afford this and get some money coming in through the grant program. It's something we have to finish with the DEC, so we got to roll on it.
Anybody else? Okay, Madam Clerk, can you call the public hearing to an end?
Meeting's closed.
Yep, Madam Supervisor, I'm getting text messages that YouTube is not working. People
Okay,
are trying to sign on and they're not being able to get in.
There's no signing
all right,
on.
let's hold.
Nobody should have to sign on.
Was there a link posted on the website?
It says it's streaming.
Let me see if I can check with any, like, if my staff is signed on or trying to find it on YouTube. Oh, okay. Somebody just said they're watching it now.
Yes.
They are. So it could
Okay.
be
Okay,
whoever is,
Councilmember Adamczak, I think people get a little confused because it does say subscribe on there. If they tap where the town emblem is, it'll take them right to the live stream.
okay. Okay, I got it. They got it.
Okay,
Okay, they got it. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, I need to do the consent agenda announcement. Tonight, we have a consent agenda as part of the meeting. If any council wants to remove a consent agenda item for discussion, please tell me now, and I will remove the item from the consent agenda, and it will be added as a separate resolution item.
Supervisor, is the item from the table within the consent agenda, or is it a separate item?
I think it's a separate item, correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, the item on the table is separate.
Just want to confirm. Thank you.
I would like to remove items 3 and 4.
Okay. Actually, I was going to suggest that we remove items 3 and 4 since we do have to approve the zoning first before we can vote on these. And since the zoning resolution is under the waiver items, I think we should move 3 and 4 at the end under the suspension of rules after the rezoning resolution. Does anybody else want to remove anything else? Because all those waiver items are voted on separately anyway, Councilmember Pilarski, so. Under the waiver items anyway. Okay, so I think if you remove those, we'll be ready to go then.
So I have a motion by
And to approve the
Supervisor
meeting.
Benskowski to remove those two items. Do we have a second to do that?
I'll
Or
second.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna remove, just so we're on the same page, I'm gonna remove item 2020-289 and 2020-290. 289. And we're gonna move them under the waiver items.
Correct.
Okay. We need an approval of the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Can we get a second?
Supervisor and second by Councilmember Pilarski.
All in
then we
favor
have-
of the meeting agenda? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the resolution from the table. That's resolution 2020-270. It's sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Councilmember Pilarski. By resolution dated April 23rd, 2019, the town board approved and awarded contract for professional services. The town board has reinstated the townwide update program for the 2021 assessment roll. The supervisor being hereby is authorized and directed to execute the amended agreement with GAR Associates.
On the question, Councilman Pilarski was among those at the work session that expressed concerns with the item. He expressed interest to poll. Other council members expressed interest in this being polled. Based on those discussions, I don't believe the support is there for this to pass this evening, so I'd like to move as well to poll the item.
Okay, well, Councilmember Nowak is the mover, so I think we can just pull the item for him. Thank
We
you.
can. I have a motion by Supervisor Benskowski and a second by Councilmember Adamczak to approve all items on the consent agenda, including the meeting minutes, of July 28th and resolution items 2020-287 through 2020-297. We are recognizing that resolution 2020-289 and 290 will now be part of the waiver items. Can I have a roll call vote to approve the consent agenda? Councilmember Adamsack? Councilmember Hammer?
Yes.
Councilmember Kaminsky?
Yes.
Councilmember Nowak?
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski?
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak?
Aye.
Supervisor Benchkowski?
Yes.
So we have no resolution items, but we do have 5 waiver items submitted. Can I have a motion to accept the waiver items and place them on the agenda as resolution number 2020-298,
Motion.
300, 289. Let me make sure I have them right. 298, 300, 289, 290. We have 5. 298, 299, 300, 89, and 90.
Correct.
I have
And
a
I'll
motion by
Linda Hammer, seconded by myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
We'll take each resolution by itself. So resolution 2020-298 is sponsored by Supervisor Benchkowski and seconded by Councilmember Adamsack. Governor Cuomo issued Executive Order 202 declaring a disaster emergency in the state of New York related to COVID-19. The town has made its best efforts to comply with all executive orders issued by the governor. The town shall further continue its compliance by adhering to the governor's guidelines for reopening regions. Ensure the safety, health, and welfare of the employees, residents, and visitors in conjunction with the reopening of Town Hall to the public. The town wishes to enter into service agreement with Amherst Security Professionals. The supervisor be and hereby is authorized and directed to execute the aforementioned agreement, subject to approval by the town attorney's office.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
I would like to table it if I have a second.
I'll table it.
Opposed?
Okay, so that
Hey.
item will be tabled. We have resolution 2020-299, which is the appointment of a secretary to the supervisor, Lynn Ryback. Lynn Ryback of Cheektowaga, be and hereby is transferred to the position of secretary to the supervisor in the town of Cheektowaga at an annual salary of $52,062, effective August 12th, 2020.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, board members.
Resolution 2020-300 is a local law number 1 of the year 2020, a local law to amend the zoning map to rezone 3765 Union Road. It was sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski, that the Daniele family companies petition for rezoning from C Retail Business District to MS Motor Service District for the property owned by it and located at 3765 Union Road. The application of the Daniele family companies of the rezoning is hereby approved.
On the question, were you able to get the language in there about that we talked at the work session about the deed restriction?
It is,
Yes,
I have not received anything.
Oh,
You have
okay.
it?
my understanding is that it was sent to you, Madam Clerk.
So we
If I
could
have
make
it and
an,
you have all looked at it, then we can make the amendment
yeah, I would
for
like
the
to,
final approval.
let's amend that because the way it was posted on the website originally, we really should do an amendment. So I'll make the
Do you all
motion to,
approve the amendments that was submitted?
Yes.
No, I haven't read all of it, and I would also like to table this one if I have a second. Got too many questions on this one.
I think this is one we're gonna lose. I'm voting no on it.
it's tabled.
So Councilmember Kaminsky and Councilmember Pilarski. So we have two, so the motion is tabled.
Correct.
Resolution 2020-289 is sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. It's an application associated materials were submitted to the town board for site plan review and approval in connection with the development of approximately 2-acre project site as a car wash. The EAC rendered its recommendations and adopted a resolution recommending the town board issue a negative declaration. Now therefore be it resolved, Town Board of the Town of Cheektowaga finds that the project will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment and that a draft environmental impact statement will not be prepared. And attached negative declaration is issued and adopted.
On the question for me, I just wanted to say this is, I want to thank the Daniele family for wanting to invest in the town of Cheektowaga during a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic. And especially since this project, you are not asking for any tax abatement or tax credits. Not only will you bring in some additional property tax revenue, but this project would bring in substantial sales tax revenue that this town at this time in this pandemic needs. So I'm hoping that we can get this project going for you in order to help the town and also help you get this done. Anybody else on the question?
Yes, Diane, and I think you said it earlier, until we pass the rezoning, I don't believe we can go forward with these two resolutions.
I agree. I'm table this one.
I agree. I think both of them need to be tabled until we get the zoning straightened out.
So
Okay.
Councilmember Pilarski and Councilmember Kaminsky. And resolution 2020-290, sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. The town board has jurisdiction to issue decisions on requests for site plan approval for proposed projects. Daniele family companies submitted a development review application and supporting documentation for 3765 Union Road. The town board has determined that the granting of the site plan approval for the project is justified based on the standards of the review and approves the site plan for the project subject to the final review and approval of the fully engineered plans related supporting technical documentation by the town of Cheektowaga Engineering Department.
On the question again for me is, once again, it's a great project and it's a shame because this was actually the public hearing was on July 14th. It's a month ago that we all had time to straighten this out before this meeting. And I'm very, very sorry that you didn't do your homework before we came to vote on this tonight. So we'll give it another 2 weeks and hopefully we can get this passed for what's right for Cheektowaga.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna, let me take this one, Brian. Okay, let's be very clear here. There was no homework to be done because we didn't get anything until late Friday or early Monday morning in regards to traffic analysis. Then the resolution for the zoning wasn't even in to back up all the other resolutions there, which was sent in at 2:30 today as a late file. And that was gonna be snuck in and through until we caught that there was no deed restrictions in there, which was amended during the work session to make this meeting right here. So it was a lack of information coming our way. I don't feel comfortable voting on it. So don't play a martyr there and say that, hey, we don't want new business coming to town here and we're turning away tax dollars, because that's not the case.
Yeah, absolutely
Well,
not.
it
And I
sort
agree
of
with you,
was
Brian.
because there was time for homework.
No, it sort of was not, Diane. Brian is absolutely 100% correct. All this has come in bits and pieces. We have tried for 7 weeks to get a traffic study. I talked to Jesse last week, I do believe it was Thursday or Friday, before any of us finally got it. To me, it's not a traffic study. It's an analysis done by who and when. It's not even dated. Nobody seems to know. All we've gotten is bits and pieces. Why do we have public hearings? That is the original information I am assuming all the board members went according to. We were not told the absolute truth at the meeting. Numbers have been changed. Statements have been changed. Brian said, we've gotten this in bits and pieces. The last of it we got this weekend and including tonight. So we're just supposed to make a snap decision on it. It's unfair to be treated this way and be talked to like we're children who do not know what we're doing.
I just wanted to speak on a few items. On the zoning piece that came up tonight, we did have a public hearing on that on the 14th. On some of the concerns with traffic and zoning, I've spoken with my colleagues on it, and through the course of all of this, we've been discussing some of their concerns, and I've done work with speaking with Pilarski and Kaminsky and with Adamzak on trying to get them access to the traffic analysis. And I remember asking for that at that July 14th meeting, and it took a while to get that. I'm comfortable with what I saw there. I'm comfortable with the explanations on the zoning. I'm supportive of this project. I can understand some of the concerns Mr. Kaminsky and Mr. Pilarski have. I am comfortable with moving forward with it, and we'll just leave it there till next time.
I agree with you, Brian.
So a lot of our questions were answered tonight. They did make some mistakes, misinterpretations. I'm comfortable with the project, but we just need to get the I's dotted and T's crossed, and I'm all for it.
Right, and to the wider point of, just in one point, the idea of the planning board unanimously supporting this. That was actually written into the resolution, maybe an earlier version of it, that it was unanimous, but it was a split vote. And there were a lot of questions associated with this. And for my part personally, those are all settled. I think this is a situation where we can have some honest disagreement here and work together to, get the project through, but to do it in a way that addresses the concerns, legitimate concerns that have been brought up by the board members that have questions about the project.
I agree.
Okay, we do have to go into an executive session. I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session to discuss settlement for Jeremiah local bail forfeiture. However, can you just hold that thought for a minute? Madam Clerk, did you just want to mention the communications before I make that motion?
Yes, we have departmental communications. We received the supervisor's statement of funds for February 2020. For general communications, we have 2 notices of claims and 43 notices of petition.
Okay. I don't have any comments. Do any other board members have comments before we enter executive session?
Yeah, I just want to thank my colleagues on the town board for taking time with me over the last month to discuss the Royal Car Wash project, their thoughts on it, questions, comments, concerns, and everything they've done to make me dig into this and really do my homework to make sure that we were moving forward a good project and the decision we were making was the right one for the town.
Well, Brian, I have to agree with that. And I think most of us have spent quite a few hours in trying to do homework on this with different pieces we've had. And I guess when you try and do a good job to do what's best for the taxpayers, it doesn't always come out good.
And I'd like to second that. I've spent numerous hours on this project, working with the department head, Rick Coburn, and our junior planner, Jesse Jasanowski. So that's the only reason I am disappointed in this, because I did put a lot of time into this, and to have this developer wait 2 more weeks, it's just saddens me, that's all. So
No, it's not that, Diane. We have to have the correct information, and we never got it till tonight.
well, the communication should have been open, and I know that our department head did try to communicate with the entire board, and at times he couldn't get a hold of people.
Right now, it's just paperwork. You gotta get through it, get it done, and we can get this resolved.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session to discuss the settlement for Jeremiah Loca bail forfeiture. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Hammer? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. There'll be no action to follow. So right after executive session, we will be adjourning the meeting and I will get the time over to the town clerk tomorrow.